Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be covering my newest sort of Google Maps scraper that is free and doesn't require an API. So the previous one I've made on my channel, you need an API, and it's kind of expensive with credits on make.com. This one only uses 2 HTTP requests, and it just does a lot of like text passing and stuff like that, and it's a bit more efficient, and yeah, you don't need an API. So this might be a better alternative if you guys want to use this scraper instead, because Apify's taken a lot of scrapers off the market, so we kind of have to do a lot of lead scraping ourselves now. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this scraper, and again, I'll have a Gumroad link to the actual template in the description. So yeah, so this is the new map scraper. So this one, as I said before, it's just, the only difference is there's less sort of HTTP requests, and you don't need APIs or any sort of paid programs or anything like that. All of this can be done for free, besides obviously make.com. And also I've kind of added some bonus here. So I've got a personalizer for a first open line, so cold email first line, and then how to send it to instantly. So instantly is how I run my email campaigns. So this is really good because you can kind of do all of it in here. So that's the only part that you're gonna have to pay for instantly, but this part's optional. Everything else you can do for free. So let me just jump into it and show you how it works. So first you want to start and set the variable. So you want your lead profile. So still the same goes, you still need a plus between each variable. So yeah, for Google Maps, that's just how it is. So web design, agency Perth, and then location Perth. So this is just so I can save their location and then use it in the email. So this is just for the actual email purpose. And then you want to add the row search terms done. So this is just a way for me to know that I've done a search. So I'll show you an example. This is like my lead sheet, and then I save every single search term here so I don't keep repeating the same ones and using wasted credits. So that's optional as well. But yeah, next we have the actual HTTP request. So all you're gonna do here is, you don't need place API or anything. This is literally just web scraping from Maps. So you just want HTTP request, HTTP, Google Maps search, and then your profile. So that's all it is, get, and then content type HTML, pass, done. That's everything you need. And then you want to text pass it, and this is to get the actual URL, the website URL. So you want to copy this regex pattern, and then obviously you want your data here. Now this is just to get the actual URL of the website. And then now, once we have the URL, we can then scrape to get the email and the business name. So now you just want to sleep it for 1 second just to ensure you don't get caught for consistent scraping. And you want to filter here. So this is really important. So you want to make sure, because a lot of the time you're going to be scraping for websites, and they're going to be websites like GG, GStatic, Schema, and they're not actual like clickable Google websites there. I'm not even sure what they are, to be honest. It's just like little sort of weird kind of off websites. So you just want to filter these out because they're obviously not going to be helpful for you at all. So you want to add these filters. Then yeah, as I said before, you want to sleep for 1 second just to ensure that Google doesn't catch you or scraping a bunch of websites. And then now you actually want to get the website URL and then search it. So you want to do get, you want to make sure you do serialize URL, and then you want to pass it, and then all that you don't need. Everything else is the same. And then you want to make sure you add a resume. So you can do that by add an error handler. So I don't know if it's not there for me anymore because I've already got one, but if you double click that, add an error handler, and then you can do resume. So that's just going to make it so if you don't find a website or an error happens when you're scraping, it doesn't completely stop your whole flow. Everything continues. So that's really important. Now you want to sleep it for another second just to ensure you're not scraping a million websites and Google catches on. Then now this is where you get their emails. So this is probably the most important one. You want to have global match on. You want to have ignore errors as no. You want to have case sensitive no, multi-line yes, single line no, and then continue execution if the module finds no matches. That's really important. You need that yes, and that is the regex. So feel free to copy it as well. I will have obviously the flow in my Gumroad in the description, so you can just come and take all this if you don't want to add all the regexes and stuff like that. But yeah, you also want the data as obviously the website scrape. And then now you want to sleep it for 5 seconds. So that's just obviously, all these sleeps are just to ensure you don't get caught by Google for consistent scraping, because you need to kind of sleep it and add sort of breaks. And then now you want to, pretty sure this is the only filter we have. So this is just going to make sure that the email actually exists. So a lot of time you're going to be scraping and you're not going to find emails. So this just ensures to continue the flow, the email actually is there. It's actually existing. Do you know what I mean? So that's really important. And then now you want to get an array aggregator. So you want to make it fallback match, which is the output of your text parser. Well, it should be at least. It might be as value, but it should be as fallback. And then you just want to do that. And then everything else, you just want to select the module as this module. And then now you want an iterator, and you want deduplicate, and then that array. So that's to make sure that you don't get a million of the same emails. So a lot of the time what happens is you're going to find, like, because we have global match on, you're going to find like 16 of the exact same emails. So this is just going to deduplicate it and make it just one. So that's really important, so you don't end up adding a million emails into your flow. Now next, this is to get the actual business name. So if you don't have the business name, how are you going to do outreach? You know what I mean? You need to be able to mention their name in the email. Well, you can obviously not do this, but it's just going to sound a lot better. Again, global match, yes. Case insensitive, yes. I think I could probably put that no, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Multi-line, no. This is just what I've got. This is quite accurate, but it's not as accurate as the email one. I do sometimes get, because we're not using Place API and this entire flow is free, this is going to be less, it's still accurate, but you're going to have to go through your CRM or your sheet and get rid of some of the entries, because sometimes, you know, we're just using regex on a HTML. Like sometimes you're going to get some bad catches that aren't accurate. You can use a email verifier, but yeah, that's going to cost, so I'm not doing that for this. You can come in and just do it yourself. This is the most cost-effective way to scrape. Now that, you know, Appify took away a lot of the scrapers and stuff like that, this is probably your best bet. Anyways, back to the topic. So that's the pattern you want to get the business name. And then again, data obviously is going to be the website scrape. Now again, this is the exact same thing basically. You want to delay it for 1 second. I think I did 5 here. Yeah. 1 works for me, but yeah, anyways, you want to make sure that name actually exists. And then again, you just want to array aggregate. So this time it was value. I'm not sure why, but yeah, anyways, you want to do text parser and then that module. And then again, you just want to deduplicate it. Now, this is another sleep. And then now we search rows. So this is where we actually start adding it into the CRM. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we're not adding the exact same emails we already have. So this filters out emails that are already there or duplicating emails in the same flow. So you want to do email. So this is just my Google Sheet. So I'll show you email here. Email is equal to fallback match. So fallback match is just this. So that's the email when it's duplicated. So you just want to copy exactly what I've done here, is equal to, and then you want to make a router, and then these are really important. So email in your sheet does not exist, you go up here. So that's basically saying if the email's not in your sheet already, you actually add it, so you go up here. But if email does exist, just end. So you just want to set a variable, end the loop. And then now we're getting to where we actually personalize each of the emails. So now we're going to come here into DeepSeek. You can obviously, again, use any AI, Claude, ChatGPT, whatever. You want to do a system prompt similar to this. So you the goal is to find specific, concrete, and impressive piece of information to use as a personalized hook. You can obviously make this whatever you want. So this is just how I do my kind of personalized openers. So I kind of like using a past project, a past achievement, things like that. And then you want to have this user prompt as well. So analyze the website content and create a personalized cold email opener. By the way, you can pause this, copy it. Again, it's going to be in the Gumroad anyway, so you can just copy all this. And then you want the website content to be the fallback match from down here. So that was the first text parser. So that's the website URL. Find the single most impressive, relevant piece of information from the contact. Craft a short, punchy opener that personalizes the message and logically leads into an offer for a cold outreach system. So that's what I'm doing, cold outreach system offers. So that would be whatever your offer is, obviously. And then yeah, you can play around with tokens. I might lower this, to be honest, but yeah, anyways, it's going to be searching through quite a lot of HTML, so this might actually take quite a while. But yeah, anyways, you want the response to be text, obviously. And then now you want to add all of that information into your rows. So name is the business name we found from here. What else do we have here? Email obviously is going to be the iterator from before that. I'm assuming you guys obviously know this one here. Location is going to be the initial location we set as the first variable. So that's the first thing we did. And then this row here is just showing that I've actually sent an email. So you can see here, you guys probably, well, we don't have to do that anyways, but yeah, anyways, you want to have your website so you can actually go onto the website and have a look yourself. So that's, again, the first text parser here. And then you want to have your personalized opener. So that's going to be the DeepSeek or AI result. And that's everything you need. And then now we create a lead and instantly. So this is if you want to send these leads and your personalization to your email, whatever program you use. I'm using Instantly to send campaigns. So email, you want, again, your fallback match. Personalization is going to be the result of your DeepSeek. Website is going to be the first fallback match. Company name, you guys can add all this information. Again, the only limitation is we don't have a name, so we can go in and scrape the website and try and find a name, but that's where we might need to use LinkedIn, stuff like that, if we want to do it manually. So that's the only restriction, because this is a free method. You're not gonna be able to get the name easily, but you can obviously go through LinkedIn and stuff like that to do so. Anyways, you just want to get your campaign ID, add all that, and then now you have leads into your Instantly campaign all through this flow. So quite a powerful flow, really. It does basically every single thing you could want to do when it comes to cold outreach. So yeah, I hope this was valuable to you. Let me know if you like the Place API version more or this one. This one's obviously going to cost a lot less. Well, you don't need an API. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, leave them in the description or the comments. And again, if you want this flow for yourself, I'll have the Gumroad link in the description below so you can come and get it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you learned something new. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below and I'll get down and answer. Yeah, so again, the Gumroad will be in the description. So if you want to get this template yourself for make.com, yeah, it's just going to be down there. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something.